What's going on, guys? It's Luke here. Just one eval trade today. We ended up netting 1,200 on the eval. I'll show you guys the executions really quick. They're in the Discord if you guys want to go see. This was the entry and exit. We ended up getting a $1,200 profit. I wanted the 1,500 for the consistency, but we ended up rejecting off a 4-hour gap, so I just closed it and I didn't want to bag hold for an extra $300 on an eval. Again, if you guys want to join the Discord, link is in the pinned comment. And if you guys need a discount for Alpha Futures, link is in the pinned comment as well. I'm going to run through this really quick. I didn't really plan to make a trade recap today, but I figured I could run through this and kind of look at my approach to the market, and then go from there. So off of market open, I really wanted to short off market open just because I did feel like a retrace was due. I seen us pushing through this 5-minute gap right here on this close right here, and I really wanted to take the short, but didn't want to short market open. And price ends up just flooding to the downside. It ends up taking out London low, and then it ends up taking out Asia low. I tried to go for a long off of, I believe it was when we swept London or Asia, and I ended up getting stopped out I moved my stop loss to break even and close it out manually break even because I didn't like how ES was moving, because at the same time ES was just moving sideways like in this range right here. So at this point, I seen that price had pulled back and was respecting within this big 15-minute bearish fair value gap. As you can see, we wicked into it, we were rejecting, and if you still look below, even though we swept out London and Asia low already, we still had draws lower at this 4-hour gap right here, and then at New York PM low, which was the start of this big 4-hour gap here. So I did figure it was definitely possible for price to want to continue to flood downwards. So I seen us reacting off this 15-minute bearish fair value gap, as well as a 5-minute bearish fair value gap right here. We're reacting off of this one, mark out right here. We also had internal manipulation. We had these highs get put in. We manipulate above them, and I started to think that it was definitely possible that we could at least come in and fill this 4-hour gap right here. So from there, I decided to kind of scale down, and I was looking for like the highest time frame inversion to work with, right? So I don't really see anything on the 4-minute, the 3-minute, or the 2-minute. And then on the 1-minute, we end up getting this 1-minute inverse, the small inverse, get in on the retrace a little bit late. But we got an entry was around 68 or 69, stops above the highs. And I basically just targeted into, well, I wanted this as my take profit. But at this point, after we tapped into this 4-hour gap, we were already up 1,200. And I wasn't sure if we were going to reverse from this and then leave this for later in the PM. So I ended up just closing out for the 1,200. Again, just a simple order flow shift or order flow continuation trade on the 5-minute and the 15-minute. Again, off open, we have that dump. We come back in and react into this 15-minute bearish fair value gap, reacting off a 5-minute bearish fair value gap as well. Internal sweep on liquidity. As you can see, we sweep these highs out multiple times. We get that inverse. We take the trade down. I wanted to, again, either to the CE point, which again was hit, or down to here, but ended up closing out as soon as we wicked into this gap because we ended with 1,200. I didn't want to be holding the trade for an extra $300 on the eval. So hopefully we pass that eval tonight or tomorrow. But not a bad trade. Other than that, really nothing. Didn't have really anything. We just kind of chopped. But the only really thing was if you shorted market open. But that's going to wrap it up for me, guys. Quick one today. Tomorrow, news is delayed for NFP, so we'll have to wait and see what we're going to do. Probably just going to stick to eval until this government situation's over, and then we'll go from there. At least we have some highs to work with, so we'll see what happens overnight, and we'll come back tomorrow fresh. So that's going to wrap it up for me, guys. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.